Now to the growing mystery in the United States, which has residents puzzled and politicians demanding answers. For the last few weeks, numerous drones have been spotted flying above New Jersey.
This year alone, there have been multiple UFO sightings. From Russia to the USA, Iran to China, strange objects are being caught on the radar or seen in the skies. Are we in the middle of a secret operation? This isn't just speculation anymore. It's happening right before our eyes. Mysterious orbs form. Strange formation in New Jersey night sky. Recently, even New Jersey has become a UFO hotspot. People report car-sized objects floating silently, vanishing suddenly, and moving in impossible ways. Are these sightings advanced drones or secret military projects? Or is it something even more shocking? Maybe a clue from another world. The government stays silent. Stick around, what we reveal might change how you see the sky. Are these drones or something else? In recent years, reports of strange aerial phenomena have captivated the public's attention, leaving many to wonder if these occurrences are simply the result of advanced drone technology, or if they point to something more extraordinary, potentially extraterrestrial activity. Across the world, from the remote wilderness to bustling urban centers, there have been numerous sightings of unidentified objects in the sky that have left witnesses both awestruck and bewildered. These objects often appear in the form of glowing orbs, flying drones, or mysterious shapes that defy conventional understanding. The question at the heart of this mystery remains: are these objects drones, or are they something far more unusual, possibly beyond human comprehension? One of the key characteristics of many of these aerial phenomena is their ability to exhibit movements that defy known human-made aircraft capabilities. Unlike conventional drones, which are bound by certain limitations, such as speed, maneuverability, and flight patterns, these unexplained objects often move in ways that are impossible for current technology to replicate. They can make sharp, sudden turns, accelerate to incredible speeds, and even hover motionless in midair without the telltale hum or noise associated with drone engines. These strange behaviors have led some to question whether we are witnessing the flight of advanced, secretive military drones, or if these objects come from a source much further afield, perhaps extraterrestrial in origin. The shape and appearance of these phenomena further complicate the issue. While drones are typically designed with a clear, recognizable structure, many of the objects observed in the sky appear as spherical or orb-like lights, sometimes flickering or pulsing in ways that suggest an intelligent source. These orbs often show up in groups, moving in synchronized patterns that are difficult to explain as anything other than a coordinated effort. While some have suggested that these could be drones equipped with lights, mimicking the behavior of UFOs, others argue that the erratic and seemingly intelligent movement of these objects is not consistent with the limitations of current drone technology. Could it be that these objects are something else entirely, operating on principles of flight and propulsion that are beyond our understanding? Adding another layer to this mystery is the growing number of eyewitness accounts from credible sources, including military personnel, pilots, and civilians who have experienced these unexplained aerial phenomena firsthand. Many of these reports describe objects performing maneuvers that conventional drones cannot achieve, such as sudden altitude changes, instantaneous acceleration, and complete silent flight. Some witnesses even describe seeing the objects seemingly materialize out of nowhere, only to vanish without a trace seconds later. These descriptions point to the possibility that we are encountering something far more complex than a new generation of drones, but rather phenomena that stretch the limits of our understanding of physics and technology. What further blurs the line between drones and something else is the ongoing debate over the nature of these phenomena. In recent years, government agencies around the world, including the United States Department of Defense, have declassified a series of reports and videos documenting encounters with unidentified flying objects, some of which appear to share characteristics with the aerial phenomena described in countless sightings. These reports, many of which have been corroborated by military personnel and radar data, reveal objects that exhibit flight characteristics far beyond what any known aircraft, whether drone or conventional plane, could achieve. This has led to widespread speculation about the potential involvement of extraterrestrial intelligence, with some suggesting that these sightings represent the first steps toward an unprecedented encounter with beings from another world. However, some skeptics argue that these sightings can be explained by more conventional means. They suggest that many of the strange lights and objects reported in the sky could simply be misidentified drones, weather balloons, or atmospheric phenomena. Drones in particular have become increasingly sophisticated in recent years, and with their widespread use for recreational, military, and commercial purposes, it's possible that many of these aerial sightings are the result of drones flying in areas where they are not expected. The rapid growth of drone technology has made it more difficult to distinguish between ordinary unmanned aerial vehicles and truly unexplained phenomena, blurring the lines between what we know and what remains a mystery. One of the more intriguing aspects of these aerial phenomena is the consistent mention of orbs or spheres, which often appear to defy gravity. Unlike the typical drone, which may have multiple rotors or wings to keep it aloft, these glowing spheres seem to hover effortlessly in the air without any visible means of propulsion. Witnesses often describe seeing them move in straight lines, then suddenly dart off in unpredictable directions. This kind of behavior is not easily explained by conventional technology, and it raises the question of whether we are witnessing some kind of new experimental technology that has not yet been revealed to the public. Could these orbs be a form of propulsion that is fundamentally different from anything we have seen before? Or are they simply the result of natural or unknown phenomena interacting with the environment in ways we don't yet understand? Further complicating the mystery is the connection between these aerial phenomena and electromagnetic interference. In many cases, witnesses have reported strange malfunctions in electronic devices, including phones, cameras, and even cars, while in the presence of these mysterious objects. These disruptions, which range from unexplained power losses to the complete failure of electronic systems, are reminiscent of the kinds of phenomena often associated with UFO encounters. Some researchers have suggested that these objects may be emitting electromagnetic fields that interfere with the functioning of electronic devices, pointing to the possibility that they are not just visually strange, but also capable of affecting the very fabric of our technology. This raises the question of whether these objects are simply advanced drones, or if they are something far more complex, perhaps even part of a larger, unknown technological framework. As drones increasingly invade our skies, whether for military, governmental, or private purposes, the mysteries of their true nature grow. Are these high-tech surveillance tools simply part of a modern landscape of espionage and security? Or are they something far more mysterious, possibly even connected to an advanced alien force, high-tech surveillance, or paranormal encounter? The theories behind these mysterious nighttime sightings vary widely, ranging from the practical use of drones for nuclear detection to the more speculative possibilities involving alien technologies designed to sniff out our every move. The chilling question remains: are we witnessing advanced technology at work, or are we unknowingly engaging with a force that surpasses our understanding? The possibility of drones being used for nuclear detection has gained traction in recent years, particularly as the world's nuclear arsenals remain a persistent concern. Drones, with their stealthy and highly mobile capabilities, offer an ideal method for monitoring radioactive activity, especially in remote or sensitive areas. In fact, numerous military reports and government studies have suggested that unmanned aerial vehicles, UAVs, may be employed to gather data on radiation levels, track nuclear tests, or even pinpoint the location of undisclosed weapons. This theory presents a more grounded explanation for some of the strange nighttime drone activity witnessed around nuclear sites or areas of strategic importance. These drones, equipped with advanced sensors, would be capable of detecting subtle shifts in radiation, potentially providing governments and military forces with vital intelligence without putting personnel at risk. But is this all they're used for? And what about the sightings that happen far from any known nuclear testing sites in remote or civilian areas where nuclear detection seems unlikely? Some theorists suggest that the strange aerial objects being seen could be part of an even darker, more covert surveillance operation, one aimed not at military targets, but at humanity itself. Could these drones be part of a surveillance network designed to track our every movement, study our behaviors, or even monitor our emotional states? With advancements in artificial intelligence, facial recognition, and sensor technology, it is not hard to imagine that drones could be gathering data far beyond the capabilities of traditional military applications. This raises the unnerving possibility that drones are not merely watching us from afar, but also sensing and cataloging personal data, tracking individuals with unprecedented precision. Is the night sky simply a canvas for advanced technology in the service of government and corporate interests? Or is there something more insidious at play? The absence of sound, the sudden shifts in direction, and the ability to blend seamlessly into the natural surroundings make these aerial encounters feel far less like a product of modern technology and more like the result of something not bound by the physical limitations we understand. In the realm of Federal Aviation Administration regulations, it is clear that the presence of drones in civilian airspace has become a serious concern for both aviation safety and privacy. The Federal Aviation Administration has worked tirelessly to implement regulations aimed at curbing the illegal use of drones, particularly in sensitive areas such as airports, military bases, and government facilities. These regulations, however, have done little to quell the growing number of reports of strange aerial activity, often happening in the dead of night. While many of these incidents can be attributed to unauthorized drones flying in restricted airspace, there remains a significant number of sightings that seem to defy these explanations. Could these sightings be the result of rogue drones operating outside the scope of government oversight? As unsettling as the idea of drones tracking us from above may be, the paranormal theory adds another level of mystery. What if these aerial phenomena are not merely monitoring us, but engaging with us on a more metaphysical level? Numerous reports from individuals who have witnessed strange lights or shapes in the sky describe a profound feeling of being watched, accompanied by a sense of dread or anxiety. This reaction goes beyond simple fear of surveillance. It evokes a deeper, almost primal response to something unknown, a presence that cannot be easily explained away. Many of these encounters are described as moments of intense emotional or psychological impact, with some individuals feeling an overwhelming urge to confront the phenomena, while others retreat in terror. Is this a product of an alien intelligence, or perhaps something even older, a force from beyond the stars, tapping into humanity's deepest fears and desires? The answer is elusive, and the more we try to rationalize these encounters, the more complex the puzzle becomes. If these mysterious drones are indeed military, we must ask, what happens when the skies above us are no longer free, when the world is no longer a place of exploration, but of constant surveillance? How will this impact our daily lives, our sense of safety, and our fundamental freedoms? The world has already witnessed the devastation caused by warfare, but what happens when the battlefield is no longer visible to the naked eye? How military drones could transform society. Imagine for a moment waking up, stepping outside, and looking into the sky. There, just above your head, a drone hovers, silent, watching, studying, knowing. It's a small, seemingly inconspicuous object, perhaps a drone equipped with cameras, sensors, and advanced technology. It could be a military drone, yet its presence is overwhelming and unnerving. You never knew it was there. You never saw it coming, and yet it's been watching you, your every move, your every conversation. The realization hits you like a thunderbolt. Your privacy is no longer yours. The rise of drones has introduced a terrifying new reality to our world. These flying machines are capable of observing and recording everything from the quietest rural corners to the busiest urban streets. They can track individuals, monitor crowds, and even intervene in military operations. With silent precision, they infiltrate our lives, armed with technologies that were once the stuff of science fiction. From the military's perspective, drones offer unrivaled power, instant surveillance, real-time intelligence, and the ability to strike from a distance without putting soldiers' lives in harm's way. But for the average citizen, the implications are chilling. One of the most profound and disturbing impacts of military drones is the potential for the dehumanization of warfare. Drones are tools of war, but they are also tools that remove the human element from combat. The operator of a drone might sit in a sterile control room thousands of miles away from the battlefield, completely detached from the destruction they cause. The killing becomes an abstract, mechanical task, a line of code, a set of instructions. The target is reduced to nothing more than a blip on a screen, a digital figure that represents a threat, a potential target to eliminate. This mechanization of war diminishes the emotional and psychological toll that combatants once felt. There is no longer direct confrontation, no face-to-face confrontation between soldiers, No tangible connection between the death and destruction caused. The result is a chilling, almost soulless approach to warfare, one in which human lives are destroyed without the weight of moral consequence or empathy. It is no longer a battle between men, it is a contest of technology, machines programmed to decide who lives and who dies. If these drones are indeed military, their widespread use could signal the dawn of a new era in warfare, one where human lives become mere statistics, casualties of an invisible war waged in the air. The people caught in the crossfire will no longer be soldiers. There will be no uniforms and no front lines. Innocent civilians could become the unintended victims of this unseen battle. Victims of a war they never asked for and never saw coming. The sense of freedom that once existed in the open sky, in the unmarked streets, is being stripped away. The idea of being watched at all times by a faceless entity, perhaps a government or military organization, casts a shadow over every interaction, every moment. You begin to question your own thoughts and your own actions. Are you being judged? Are your conversations being recorded? The paranoia sets in, growing like a dark cloud in the back of your mind. In the age of drones, even the most mundane actions are laced with the anxiety of being observed. The invisible lines between safety and surveillance begin to blur. How much is too much? At what point does national security become an excuse for violating the most basic rights of individuals? As drones become more sophisticated, more pervasive, and more autonomous, these questions will become even more pressing. The question of how far is too far may soon be impossible to answer. The sky, once a symbol of infinite possibility, could become a prison from which there is no escape. And in that prison, we may find ourselves forever chained, watching as the world we once knew fades into a cold, technological future. But if these aren't drones created by the military, but visitors from another world, beings so advanced that their very presence raises existential questions, how can humanity cope? In a world teetering on the brink of an unknown encounter, can we truly survive with minimal technology? Can we protect ourselves from the unknown with only the knowledge and tools we have now? Humanity's fight against extraterrestrial threats. Humanity has faced extinction before, from plagues to wars, but the appearance of extraterrestrial beings would be a confrontation unlike anything we've known. In the face of such a threat, survival instincts would kick in. But what could we do? Our military might have the power to strike, but against an enemy capable of bending the laws of physics to their will, how could missiles or jets stand a chance? At that moment, the crushing reality would set in. Our technological advancements, impressive though they may be, are mere child's play compared to the power that these alien forces wield. For those in charge, the dilemma would be overwhelming. How would governments respond to an invasion that they cannot even begin to understand? The leaders of the world who have so often relied on the strength of their military to ensure safety would find themselves powerless. Any show of force would only highlight the gaping chasm between human technology and alien might. In the face of such overwhelming superiority, what other choice would we have but to negotiate, to plead for mercy from an intelligence that is so far beyond us that it might not even recognize us as equals? But as terrifying as it would be, we would not go down without a fight. The power of humanity lies not just in our weapons or our ability to wield technology, but in our resilience, our creativity, and our unyielding will to survive. With minimal technology, we might still find ways to cope, if not through force, then through intelligence. Perhaps the first step would be to understand them, to find some way to communicate, even if it is beyond our current understanding. It may sound naive, but in times of crisis, the power of human ingenuity has always found a way to surprise. We may not be able to match their technology, but that doesn't mean we couldn't learn from them, adapt to their ways, or even find a way to survive through sheer resourcefulness. With limited tech, we might turn to what we know best: observation and the human mind's ability to adapt to any situation. In the face of alien intelligence, we would have to become more than just passive witnesses to our destruction. Perhaps there is a way to hide, to move unnoticed, to find safety in the very technology they don't understand. We could rely on our ability to remain unseen, to use the environment to our advantage, hiding in places that these visitors may not yet comprehend. It would be a battle of wits, an unseen war in the shadows, where every movement and every decision counts. The minimal technology we possess may seem like a crippling disadvantage, but it is not the only tool we have at our disposal. We have the will to survive, the resilience to face the unknown, and the creativity to adapt to the impossible. We may not have the weapons of the future, but we have the power to think, to innovate, to find new ways to approach an otherwise insurmountable enemy. Our greatest strength lies not in what we have built, but in what we are capable of becoming. It is clear that the arrival of alien beings would alter the course of humanity forever. The survival of our species would depend on how we adapt to this new reality and how we find ways to cope, communicate, and fight against an intelligence that dwarfs our own. But one thing is certain, in the face of such an existential crisis, we would rise to the challenge, even if it seems impossible. Humanity's story is not one of surrender. It is one of resilience, hope, and the unbreakable will to survive, no matter the odds. There's so much more to uncover, and we're just scratching the surface. What do you think? Are these UFOs visitors from another world, or signals from our future? These sightings make us question everything we know about our world and our place in the universe. Are UFOs just a mystery, or is there a deeper message we're meant to uncover? Share your thoughts in the comments.